here from Tasman's Crochet Creations. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed. You wouldn't want to miss future tutorials that are coming out. And yeah, for today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to crochet this cute little jellyfish keychain. Isn't he just so super cute? He is so adorable. And if you would like to support me or my channel in any way, you can buy me a hot chocolate and I'll shout you out in my next video. You can find today's pattern over on my website, and I'll put the link in the description box below where you can find that, and in the corner here. And with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so to crochet this cute little jellyfish keychain, these are the materials that we'll be using. I'll be using this yarn today. It is Charity double knit pulse skein weight yarn. It is 100% acrylic, 233 meters or 256 yards. It is a 100-gram ball of yarn, and it recommends a 4mm, and this is the color Crocus. So I'm using this like this like light purpley kind of color. And then I'll also be using this color here. This is called Duck Egg. It is the same weight as the Crocus, or the purple over there. It's the same weights and everything. So this is the color Duck Egg. And you'll also be needing a little bit of black. You won't be needing much at all. It's just to embroider the little smile onto the jellyfish. Okay, and with that we'll be using a 2mm crochet hook. This is just to get our stitches nice and tight. And then you'll also be needing a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, a stitch marker. You'll need 0.5mm safety eyes as well as their backs. And you'll also be needing a hot glue gun, which I have mine here on the side. And you'll also be needing some jewelry pliers, a keychain, and a jump ring. And I have some blunt pair of scissors here and some pillow stuffing, as you'll need this to stuff the little jellyfish. Okay, with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so again, you can find the written pattern over on my website. So I'm just going to make a magic ring, and then we are going to place 6 single crochets into this magic ring. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, then you can close up your magic ring. Okay, then moving on to the next round, you are now going to place an increase into each stitch around. So an increase is just 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Okay, and then you can put your stitch marker back in. Okay, and repeat that all the way around, placing an increase into each stitch around. If I'm going too fast, you can either slow down the speed, or you can print out the pattern that's available on my website. Okay, and then moving on to the third round, you're going to place 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then an increase into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then an increase, and then you'll repeat that all the way around. Okay, I'm just working over my tail end here, so I don't have to worry about hiding it in, even though I made a double magic ring. It wouldn't really come out anyway. But yeah, I just like to work over this tail end a bit. Okay, moving on to the next round. Yeah, so this is the last increase round, so we're going to place one single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and then an increase, and then you will repeat that around. Yeah, so you can go off, you can repeat that all the way around, and then I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to move on to the next round. Okay, so now moving on to the next round, this should be round 5. So we're going to move on to round 6. Sorry, that was the end of round 4. And we are now going to move on to round 5. So from round 5 to round 9, we are just going to place one single crochet into each stitch around with no increases. So that is a total of 5 rounds. Okay, so just place one single crochet in each stitch around, then I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to move on to the next step. Okay. Okay, so now I've made it back around to the beginning after completing an additional 5 rows of just one single crochet in each stitch around, no increases. Okay, now moving on to the next stitch, we're going to remove our stitch marker, and then we're going to slip stitch into this next stitch. We're going to chain 1, and then we are now going to do a back post single crochet stitch into each stitch around. Okay, so we're just going to do a back post single crochet into each stitch around, and this will make the bottom of the jellyfish very flat, as you can see here. As you can see here, it goes very flat at the bottom of the jellyfish. It goes very, very flat. Okay, so you just want to do that, placing one back post single crochet into each stitch around. Okay, you can continue that, and then I'll meet back up with you when you're ready to move on to the next round. Okay, so now once I've come to the end of the round, this is what it should be looking like now. Okay, so that's the top of the jellyfish. Yeah, so now we can insert our safety eyes. So you can grab your safety eyes and you can put your hot glue gun on. Okay, so you can insert your safety eyes. Okay, let me get them here now. Okay, so you can insert your safety eyes. So I like to insert my safety eyes directly opposite from where I'm working. Okay, so we're going to place our safety eyes in the 6th round from the beginning. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with and we're gonna, okay, so you can insert it in that 6th round. Come on, there you go. Okay, and then from the one that we just placed in, we're going to count 6 stitches over. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then in that next stitch, we are going to put our other safety eye on. Okay, and then you're just gonna push the work out like this so we can put the backs on. Okay, so now once the back's on, okay, so now moving on to the next round, we're going to remove our stitch marker, and then we're going to place one single crochet into the first stitch, and then we will do a decrease. and then you can repeat that all the way around, placing one single crochet into the next stitch and then a decrease, and you'll just continue this all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to move on to the next round. Okay, so now after the end of that round, we can now stuff our little head. So you can pull up your yarn, grab some of your stuffing and your scissors, and now we are just going to stuff. We are now just going to stuff the head. Okay, so now once done, it should look something like this. Okay, so now we're almost finished with the head, so you can just move on to the next round. Okay, so now moving on to the next round, we are now going to decrease into each stitch around. Okay, so that's all that we're doing for this round, is just decreasing all the way around. Okay. Alright, so now that's technically the end of the head. We can remove our stitch marker and we can end off. So leaving a little bit of a tail, you just want to snip your yarn and then you can pull up and through. And now we are going to close up this hole, so you want to grab your tapestry needle and thread up your tapestry needle. Okay, and then what you'd want to do is we are now going to insert our needle into the front loops only of each stitch around. We're just going to sew around. And then we can just pull on our tail end and it'll close up that hole. Now I like to just insert my needle back down into that hole and come out somewhere else on the head. Okay, and then I'm just going to weave my tail end in. Okay. Alright, so now moving on to the next step, we can now crochet the little tentacles, so we can put our little head aside. And then you want to grab a crochet hook again and your yarn. Okay, and now we are going to make the tentacles. So we're going to make a slip knot. Okay, and then we will chain 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 19, 20, and 21. Okay, then we're going to turn our work over to reveal these back bumps of the chain. And then into the second chain from hook, we are going to place 3 half double crochets into there. And into each chain across. And what this will do is this will make our tentacle spiral. So this is actually called a corkscrew. So you'll see once we're finished with this why it's called a corkscrew. But yeah, so you can just complete this, placing 3 half double crochets into each chain across, and then I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to end off. Okay, so now I am back after completing my corkscrew, and this is what it should be looking like, or my tentacle I should say. So you'd want to end off, and you'd want to leave a little bit of a tail, and then you just want to end off. Yeah, and there's a little corkscrew. You may need to adjust it, you may need to spiral it, or just fix it up a little bit, make sure it curls the way that it should. Yeah, so now you can go off and basically make another 3 tentacles exactly like this, 2 in purple and 2 in blue, like this one. So it has 2 purple tentacles and 2 blue tentacles, so a total of 4 tentacles. Okay, so you can go off and you can do that, and then I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to sew them onto the head. Okay, so now I am back and I have finished crocheting all of my tentacles, and now it's time to sew the tentacles to the head. So I'm just going to start off with one, and I'm going to show you how we're going to sew it to the head, and then you guys can just go off and continue sewing the rest. Okay, so I'm just going to take my darning needle here and thread up my darning needle. Would help if I get actually a bigger needle, but this is a needle that I had lying around on my desk, so I'm like, okay, let's just use it. Okay, so I'm just going to go back into the tentacle here, the top of the tentacle. Let me get my camera to focus. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my head, and then I'm just gonna sew into the head into a stitch like that, and then I'm gonna come back up into the side of the tentacle there, and then I'm gonna go back down, into the head. And then again, I am going to insert my needle back into the tentacle. Okay. And then again, one more time, I am going to insert my needle back into the tentacle, and I'm going to insert my needle into the last chain of the work. Let's not go into my tail end. Okay, so I'm going into that last chain there of the tentacle. I know it's a little bit hard to see. Then again, I am just going to go right back down into the head, and then I'm just going to start weaving in my tail end. Okay, so I'm just going to start weaving in my tail end. And then once you're happy, you can just snip your yarn and you can weave in your other tail end. Yeah, so I'm just gonna snip my yarn there. Okay, so that's the one tentacle sewn on, and then you can just repeat that for all the other 3 tentacles, sewing it on exactly like how I've shown you. Okay, I'll just show you one more time. So I'm just going to insert into the top of that in the top of the tentacle there. Then again, I'm just going to grab my body and my head, and I'm just going to sew it down onto the head and then enter back up in the tentacle, and then again back down into the head. Okay, and then again back up into the side of the tentacle. And then again, you just want to go into that last chain that you worked into there at the base of that half double crochet. Okay, then again, just sew in your tail end. Now I'm just going to snip my yarn. Okay, and then you can basically now go off and do the same thing for the last 2 tentacles. And then I'll come back and show you what to do from there. Okay, so now I am back and I have finished crocheting my little jellyfish. I've put the little tentacles on there and I think he looks super cute. Which one do you look better? Which one do you think looks better? The purple one or the blue one? I'd love to know in the comments which one is your favorite. Okay, then moving on. We are now going to embroider the little mouth on, so we can grab some black. You only really need a little bit, you don't need a lot, so just snip a little piece of black off. And then what are we going to do is we are going to thread our darning needle, and then I'm just going to insert my needle into like the side of the head there and come out sort of like about here. Let's go over one more, sort of about there, and then I'm just going to stitch over like 3 stitches, 1 2 3, go over the next stitch, insert into the next stitch, and then come out 1 row below and into like the middle stitch of that mouth or that line that we're going to sew now. See, we just sewed a line and I've come out sort of like at the center of that line, insert my needle underneath that strand, pull down and insert your needle back into the same stitch you came out over there, and you just want to come out in the same place that you originally stitched into. And if you pull that, you can see it pulls our mouth down. Okay, there we go. There's his little mouth. I think it looks so super cute. So now once you're happy with that and you've sewn to the side, we are now just going to tie these into a knot. Just a simple knot is fine, and then you just want to trim the tail ends down a little bit, and then you just want to grab your crochet hook and insert your crochet hook a couple stitches away from that knot, and then just pull that in, and then if you need to, you can just push that other tail end inside, and there we go. These are little cute little jellyfish. And now the only thing left that we need to do now is just to add the keychain. So you want to grab your jump ring and your keychain, as well as your jewelry pliers. And what you'd want to do to attach it, you just want to grab your jump ring with your jewelry pliers and insert it. Sorry, let me just sort this out here. Stubborn little piece of thread there. Okay, so you just want to grab your jump ring and insert your jump ring into the work. Working with such a tiny jump ring and these pliers don't always work. They're not always my friend. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit. Okay, I don't like the way that it's sitting there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we can now take our keychain, place the last little chain on the one end of the jump ring, and then you can just close up. You can just close up this jump ring. I like to just normally just squeeze the jump ring a little bit more closed at the top there, just to make it a little bit more secure. Okay, but there you go. There is the finished jellyfish. Isn't it just super cute? It's like we've got a boy and a girl jellyfish, don't you think? Even though they've got the same sort of tentacles. But yeah, so that is it for today's tutorial. Okay guys, so that is it for today's tutorial on how to crochet these cute little jellyfish keychain. Or keychains I should say, because I've got two here obviously. So yeah, that is the tutorial on how to crochet this cute little jellyfish. I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you need the pattern, you can find the pattern in the link in the description box below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. It really does help out my channel. And yeah, I guess that's it. Happy crocheting guys. Bye.